For me, the first step is to understand where you are right now. So it's about evaluating what is my level of seniority, how am I performing. So usually I get people to do a to fill in a self-evaluation worksheet. And basically the way we do it in an Excel or in a template, whatever. And what I ask them to fill in is the first column is roles and responsibilities of where you are right now, your current level of seniority. A lot of companies actually have specific descriptions of the roles. For smaller companies that might not have that, then I will ask my clients to kind of create a little bit the roles and responsibilities list based on what they're doing day to day or based on what they were hired to do initially. So we do that. Next to that, we have the second column, which is all about examples. So what I want them is to give me at least one example of where they did these things. So for example, if you are a project manager and your role, one of the things that you need to do is launch a new feature, let's say. So I will ask them, can you give me an example of when you launched a new feature? What was the feature? Very short sentence. I don't want them to go in depth or anything, but just at least one example. Then the next column is all about if we would get a promotion, so we would go one level up, how would that list change? So let's say a project manager would have to launch one feature, a senior project manager would have to launch 10 features or manage other project managers who are launching features. So they might have more management responsibility. And then I will ask my clients in the next column to fill in when did they do that? Do they have examples of when actually they might have done something that is one level up? This is usually an aha moment for most clients because they do not realize that they have already been doing things in the next level. And they just assume they were doing what they were supposed to do. So the majority of people, we will see that, well, actually, I'm doing 60% or 70% of the next level. I had never sat down to document that. And if that's the case, then it's very, very clear that they're up for a promotion because they are already doing part of the work at the next level. Of course, you cannot be doing 100%, otherwise it wouldn't make sense to be promoted. And for a lot of roles, in order to fulfill all the requirements, you actually need to be in that position. So you cannot have, let's say, management responsibilities if you're not a manager.
Yeah.
But there will be a lot of other things that you've been doing along the way that already demonstrate that you've been overperforming and you're due promotion. So a lot of times that step is already enough for them to realize, oh, I actually deserve a promotion and I should go for it.
Do you think people are honest though? I think a lot of people think they deserve the next layer up and they'll be like, oh, I once crossed a lady across the road, so I showed thinking outside the box.
Actually, It's the opposite.
Okay.
Most people, I have to push them to think that they've done things. So we will see one of the roles and responsibilities and they'll say, I never done that. And I would push and say, have you actually not done that? And I will ask more questions and more questions. And then they realize, oh, well, actually, I have done that. So usually we have the opposite problem. And also the people who are so confident, they wouldn't ask for my help.
Yeah,
they would have done it anyway.
They've already,
right?
That's knocking on the door. Yeah.
But I would say that's a very, very small percentage of people that they would feel so confident to be going up there and asking for more money and all of that. Most people have the opposite problem.
I think confidence is really, really important in this area. I've applied for lots of jobs and I have no problem applying for a job, but asking for a pay rise is I'm a very confident person, but I think it's like a whole different area of the brain. I can talk to the CEO, I can be like, oh, I did all this, but when you actually go in and say, can I have more money? It's like, it seems like it's like a whole really alien,
and I feel it's concept. Because we don't know how to do it. So it feels awkward. So I would say the first step for me is evaluating. There is also a fifth column. And the fifth column is the SMART goals column. So there, if we identify, because some of my clients might not be ready for the promotion, they might not have been doing the things, but actually I will use this sheet to have a conversation with their manager and say clearly, hey, I want to be promoted in the next round. These are the things that I have been doing. These are the things that I think I need to do in order to be promoted. Can we agree together on a plan? So my best case scenario, they will be promoted within 2-3 hours of coaching, worst case scenario, they will be promoted in the next round. And the reason that happens is because we don't leave anything to luck. We make sure that whatever the manager requires to promote them is there. So we will have all the SMART goals. They will be checking bi-weekly with their manager how they're going towards those goals. So by the time the performance review is there, there's no reason not to be promoted because they've done the work, the manager agrees. So immediately we're dissolving all, the objections.
I wish I'd known all of that when I was trying to get a pay rise. If you'd like to work with Yota, we've left her details in the description for you. We also want to make it really easy for you to do some of the things that we went through today. So we've created a free newsletter laying out all of the steps because there was a few of them. Plus Yota's created a free workbook on how to value yourself. You can find all that linked in the description and I really hope it helps you get what you're worth.